Hi, thanks for coming. Thank you for joining me here at Let's Talk with Marcel. You know, one thing that I love about this show is that we get some exciting guests, different people from different walks of life. This is the second installment of my Women Empowerment program. So today, I have an exciting guest today. She's an amazing woman. She has been empowering herself for many years, developing herself and developing her economic side of her life. She's been recreating herself. She's expanding her horizons and developing new facets in her life. Ladies and gentlemen, give me the best applause you can over the internet, over the airwaves, for an exciting guest. Let me introduce to you Tracey Fair. Tracey, let's talk.
Let's do it, Marcel. Thank you so much. That word empowering is pretty powerful.
It is actually. It's an empowering women. And that's what I'm trying to do with this second series. Is dear to my heart. First, I am a father of a daughter. So I'm looking for women like yourself that can then bring out the best in other women. Be mentors. Be people that people look up to the community and say, hey, you know, I worked hard. And you are one of those people. You have worked very hard. I've known you for a number of years, and all those times I've seen you, and I can tell you, everybody out there, that you are an amazing woman, working hard, recreating yourself, expanding yourself, and that's what I want to find out today. You know, you grew up in Guilford, right?
I grew up here in Guilford, yes.
Tell me, what was that like, growing up in Guilford?
Well, like all us old people say, it was a simpler time. We actually grew up in what I guess Guilford considers the first neighborhood to ever be built. So, you know, there was houses here and there, but we had an old farm that made a little development right after the war. And so that was fun because we had a bunch of kids that had moved in. We all grew up together, and you see the changes. All the kids grew up, all the parents got old, and now there are younger families in that neighborhood. And as we grew up, there was neighborhoods that came down the main street, and that was a lot of fun, and things were great. You saw 6 cars on Route 1 on Saturday morning, and that was busy. That was considered a very
Wow.
busy
So
day.
what time period is this now? Talking about time period.
Marcel.
I'm sorry.
That was, oh God, well, I was born 1966, so that was between
The late 60s, early 70s. And
yeah.
really, only 6 cars down Route 1. There was no Walmart then, right? Basically
No.
nothing.
As a matter of fact, where Walmart is now was just a big field, and when they put that plaza in, it was a Mammoth Mart, which then became a King's, which then became a Bradley's, which now is Walmart.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah,
So,
a lot of changes.
so would you call yourself a country girl then? I mean, that was like farming era.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, what was that like?
Oh, yes. It was like, it seemed like there was a lot more farms back then, too. And, oh, yeah, it was, you know, rode your bikes for miles and miles just to get somewhere. And, oh, yes, definitely a country girl. Since most of my closet is cowboy boots and jeans, you'll never take that out of my system.
So country girl, why? Why the country girl thing?
You know what? It was, you know, back in the day, you rode in the back of a pickup truck and with the dog and the shotgun, if need be. And it was just how we grew up. It was just the country way of life. It wasn't like we went out fine dining at night. It was as poor folk could do it, and we just grew up picnics, parties, country all the way.
So, did you have any horses or cows or?
I did have a horse. I've had a horse my entire life, and not the same horse.
Okay.
But they've changed over the years. But Yes, we had horses, and I had 2 ponies when I was little, and then ended up just having another pony, and then he passed away, and then had a horse, and I've had a horse up till about 2 years ago when he passed away.
Really?
So, yeah.
So you're an avid rider.
Yeah.
So would imagine it's Western riding. You weren't like English.
No. I had to wear my cowboy boots, and I couldn't do that on that English riding. So it was Western. Yeah.
So were you in like 4-H or any of those things?
Yes, we did have a few 4-H clubs here in Guilford years ago. So I was in that for quite a few years. And just about 10 years ago, I started another one in North Branford for a bunch of girls.
You did?
Yep. Yeah.
That's interesting.
That's very
so
cute.
Is it active now?
It's not. They all grew up and went off to college. And
Okay.
So no,
But how many girls were involved?
We had about 12 in that.
Great.
group. Yes.
Fabulous. Now, were you involved also with the Guilford Fair or anything like that?
No, not so much involved with it. I did try to bring my horse down to the Guilford Fair, and because he was just a little out of control all the time. And this is how country we were. We didn't have a horse trailer. I had to ride the horse to the fair
Really?
to get there. When the horse decides to make the fair a rodeo, he'd just buck in and kick in, and it came over the announcement, Tracey Walston, could you please remove your horse from the fairground? So I had to leave with my horse. But fair enough, he was not very good. So no, I'm not really involved with the Guilford Fair so much, but I do help out. I've helped out with security and sometimes in the parking if needed.
Oh, good. So you're still involved with them
Yes.
over the years, and
Yeah.
that's great.
Not
So
bad.
that is the country life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Everything is country. I don't even know what else there is.
Well, you have to know something, because one of the things, you're an entrepreneur. You own a barber shop, actually two
Two of
here
them.
in town. One is the Village Barber Shop
Correct.
on, where is it located?
On Water Street in Guilford here.
Okay, Water Street in Guilford,
Yes.
the Village Barber. And another one too called the Town Barber Shop?
And that's in North Branford on Foxen Road, right, just close to the Guilford line. Yeah. Yes.
Great. Now, how did you get into being a barber? I mean, next to being a hairdresser or something like that, how did you do that?
Well, it all literally fell into my lap.
Really?
Where my barber shop in Guilford is now, next door, which is now Arthur Murray's dance studio, that used to be a stationery store called Dudley and Beckwith. And that was there for years. And my aunt and uncle owned that. And I worked for them, oh my God, probably since I was 12 years old down there, part-time, right up until after high school. And after high school, when everybody was going off to college, Tracey, who couldn't think of what she was going to do tomorrow, two of my girlfriends had said, hey, come to hairdressing school with us. So I said, okay, I'll give it a whirl. So I did the whole 10 months of that, and when I had gotten out, the barber that was next door to Dudley and Beckwith was leaving. So my aunt and uncle had asked the landlord of the building at the time to see if I wanted to take it over. So I went down, I looked at it, and I said, let's give it a whirl. It's been 25 years, and it's been fantastic.
So, who was the owner prior to that? Was it called the Village Barber Shop then?
No, that was this little Italian man that most of the Guilford people will remember. His name was Louis Franco, and we're not sure how long he's been there. He was there probably about 40 years. The cutest little Italian barber ever. But he ended up being in his 80s, and the doctor told him that he had to retire. So he didn't even retire on his own choice. They kind of made him do it.
Okay, so he had this barbershop. You studied hairdressing.
Right.
Now,
Which barbering is included in it at
right,
the time.
okay, so,
Yep.
but when you started it, were you trying to establish a female clientele, or what did you?
No, as a barber shop, I figured let's just do the barbering end of it, and we have kept it the old-fashioned barber shop. There's no shampooing, there's none of that. It's just dry haircuts. You do a straight razor on the neck, and hopefully on the back. If we don't like you, we'll do it on the front.
Okay. Do you do shaving too?
No, we do not do face shaves.
No face
No
shaving.
face shaves, yeah.
Yeah. And so you've had that barbershop for how many years now?
25 years.
20.
It
You're
was-
celebrating your 25th anniversary.
Yeah, May 1st was 25 years.
Congratulations.
Thank
25
you.
years. That's great. That's exciting.
That's great. Great.
So, but the whole hairdressing thing didn't really turn you on.
Not really. Not really. The barbering end of it was, that was more interesting. And what's so funny is when you think back of the things that have happened in your life, it kind of all comes around. Because as a child, my father would come home from work, and my big event, and I'm talking I was 5 or 6 years old, I would say, Dad, let me comb your hair. And I'd go into the bathroom sink, and I took this yellow cup, I filled it with water, I'd climb on his back as he laid on the floor, I'd put a comb in it, and I would just sit there and brush his hair for hours. And I still love doing that. Here I am so many years later, and I have a barbershop and brushing men's hair.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't
Exciting.
that funny? Yeah.
That's it. No, that's really a great story. I love that
funny.
story. And so you must have had a great relationship with your dad.
Yes, my dad was just fantastic. As a matter of fact, I just put on Facebook how he is 80 years old. He's a stomach survivor from cancer. They took his entire stomach out 2 years ago now, and he still could outwork anybody. He's just, we go up to help him. He lives in New Hampshire now, and we get tired, and he's kicking our butts to keep moving. He is one hard worker. I've always admired him for that.
Well, he can see the show on the internet. He can get the internet up there in New
Good.
Hampshire, so he'll be able to see the show. Let me find out about this. So, you, being a barber, then decide to open another barbershop?
Yep. You go from crazy to crazier. No, it's been fantastic. I opened another one. That would be 5 years now. And just through divorce issues, I said, oh gosh, I have to do something a little more financially stable. And that one I just started from the ground up, and it's been fantastic. I've had great barbers over there, and it's doing really well. And it's the same thing. It's very old-fashioned. You just come in, dry haircuts, straight razor on the neck, and off you go.
So, and that's, you're open like, what, 6 days a week?
Yeah. Yes.
So this is, again, sustainability. You expanding yourself, empowering yourself, to develop a new economic base for yourself. You start off in Guilford, then move on to another barbershop. Now you have the 2 barbershops.
Yeah.
And you start doing all this stuff. Now, you told me about the 4-H. What other things have you done for the community?
Well, in North Branford, we have a festival called the Potato and Corn Festival.
Tell me a little about that.
And that is just a fun little time. I shouldn't say little, it's pretty big. I don't even know how many years now. It's been 15, 16 years going on. I've been involved with that for probably 10 now. And it's just a great festival. We have a car show on Friday night. I think there's a motorcycle show there also. There is paid parking, but you can take free shuttles in. There's no admission, so it's free. Saturday nights is a fabulous firework display. I'm not even a big firework person, but my chin hits the ground every year. And plenty of food. There's free games and contests for the kids. There's tractor pulls, and you name it, we pretty much have it over there.
A big country thing, huh?
A big country thing.
A big country thing for a country girl. When does that happen? When does it usually happen?
It's usually the first weekend of August. This year will be August 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So there's food there and
Food and crafts and, yeah.
amusements and
Yep.
games and
Entertainment.
I went there one time. They had a cow plop bingo.
Yes.
I love that. Are they going to have that again?
They are not having that again. They are not.
Oh, that was the best.
Yeah, the people that were doing it, it just got to be too much. Dealing with the state and all that, it was very tough.
Oh, really? They had to
Yeah.
get involved with the state?
Yeah, the state had to get involved. It got to be too much. So
With cow plop bingo.
right, and the cows were getting loose, and it really turned country fair.
Listen, so you're a woman in business, and so what would you give somebody that was trying to start their own business, some advice? And
I would say, don't think negative. You gotta push forward, because the negative will stop you. I mean, when I was gonna do the second shop, it was no, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Actually, when I was gonna do the first shop, but I'm glad that I didn't listen to anybody. I wanted to do it, and I did it, and it's really important that you just keep pushing forward, because the negative will just keep pulling you back, and then you end up with that terrible R word called regrets. Life is too short. Just, you know what, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You've tried, you now know. Move on. It's good. It's something everybody should try, not just women, men. I have a lot of customers that come in and they don't like their job, or they don't like this, and I'm like, listen, life can be taken away from you tomorrow. So why not? Why not? There's a world of happiness out there, so go get you some. Go get you some.
great advice. Did you have anybody help you, back you when starting your first barbershop?
No. Thank God that the rent was really low, because they knew that I was just going in there and just trying. And since I was part of the building for so long, they were very willing to work with me on that. And that's another thing. The more you get out and you meet people and you network, there's a lot that will help you. And when they know you, they're willing to give you advice. And, networking is really important too.
Yeah, that's what I found is knowing people, networking people, being kind to people.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You know,
One of my policies in all these businesses is, and it's terrible to say, but, I'm sorry that your house burnt down, but when you come through work, you need to be nice to all the clients that come through the door. There's no moodiness. And it's such a big step in being successful. The kinder you are, the better. So you can't deal with the public and be angry and mad and not nice to them, because it's just it's not the way to do it. You just got to be kind.
and you have been kind. I've known you for many, many years, and I've been so appreciative to your kindness and your thoughtfulness, and you're a real gem in Guilford. That Village
thanks,
Barber
Marcel.
is a great place.
There's a time for everything. I hope so. I hope so.
So what other stuff have you gotten involved in?
Oh, gosh. Well, I do a BNI now. I'm involved in a business networking international. I'm doing that now. That's a real lot of fun. Anybody who has a business should definitely join this, because, again, it's a big networking thing. You meet people. They help you. It's really fantastic. But that's the business side of it. For the fun stuff, probably stuff I shouldn't admit to.
Okay.
But
well, then don't admit to it, please. I mean, it's all fun.
it's
But
all fun.
I know something else, which has been exciting, because I've talked to you about it and I use it myself in my music business, and people know me playing music and as a drummer and a producer. Send out cards, and you can Google send out cards and find out. And you have a Facebook page too. They can look for Tracey Walston Fair on Facebook too. Find out about you, the barber shops, and more information. But tell me a little bit about this send out cards thing. I think it's tremendous.
I think it's tremendous too. Send out cards is you can take which we don't like to say anymore, but you can send a personalized greeting card in the U.S. mail. It's not an email, it's not a Facebook, it's not an Instagram, but you can take pictures instantly or take it off somebody's Facebook, put it into a card, put your own words, however you want to do it, and send it to them. And it's such a wow factor for people. They get it. It makes my day when I get a text from someone that says, "Oh my God, thank you so much. I love that card." And I get them all the time because I send these cards. I just fully enjoy it. And now Send Out Cards is we're turning it to businesses to do a business appreciation, so that we're teaching them to send their clients these appreciation cards, because all the money they spend on advertising and all of that, that they should just take care of what they have. And when a person feels appreciated by a business, they're going to remember you, they're going to talk about you, and they're going to send you referrals. It's a really simple task. So it's a fun thing. Absolutely love Send Out Cards.
Now, the thing is it's really getting a card in the U.S. mail.
In the mail.
You know, comes with a stamp, and I mean, it's beautiful, and then you can create your own funky type of card, greeting card.
Right. So all you do
and
is
it's
you
a lot
create
cheaper than, oh my
the
God,
store.
including the postage and everything, a lot cheaper than going to you know, one of the greeting card stores and buying them, and
Absolutely.
and putting together, and then it's your own thing, which is very cool. And the appreciation thing I found is very, very cool. And I too get text messages from people, "Oh, I just got your card in the mail. Thank you very much," or you know, or they'll call me up and say, "You know, that was really nice. Thanks for that card." And you know, and I also
great.
got involved with doing that for people that been sick and in the hospital, and you know, get well cards and stuff like that. So I really appreciate it myself. You know, I think it's a great thing. Now, how did you get involved with that?
Oh gosh, many years ago, there was my daughter's basketball coach was involved with it, and I was interested, so I had called her up, and she said, "Let's get together," and we sat down at a coffee shop in town, and then her sponsor came, and he just kind of went over some of it, real basic, and I'm like, I love this. I love the whole system, everything about it. And this was years ago. This is like when we had dial-up computers, where you can now do a card right from an app on your phone. And so I signed up right then and there, and I've been using it ever since, and showing everybody how to use it, because it's just fantastic.
Wow, so you're talking at least 10, 15 years.
Yeah, been involved with it for that many years.
Wow,
Yep.
that's amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a really cool thing. I mean, I love it. The whole idea of being able to send a card to somebody and creating it yourself. And so if you want to hear any more, find out more information about it, definitely contact Tracey on it. I love it. And I love the idea that you're a woman in business.
Thank you.
And that you've taken the time and really like taking care of your customer base, and involved in the community, and continue to be involved in the community. Now, you actually involved in two communities, Guilford and North Branford, which is amazing. I mean, you could expand all over the world, Tracey.
That's enough. My plate's getting so full now that I think I'm done for a little while.
Well, Tracey, this has been an unbelievable, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful interview. Thank you so much for joining me here, and Let's Talk with Marcel. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening to my second series of women empowerment here at Let's Talk with Marcel. And before I let you go, I wanted to let you know that if you want to, you can come into my studio here and join me. Let's talk